Shark head coach Pat Noonan ahead of Wednesday's game against Toronto FC. Carter, do you want to start us off?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Quick turnaround again, back to these double match weeks. Have there been any, in reviewing Saturday's match, anything new that's come up, anything you took away from that maybe different than what you were said on Saturday?
No, I thought it was in many ways a strong performance, and chance creation was better. I think our transition movement and opportunities was pretty good. Obviously, we can be a little bit more, I would say, efficient in the final product, but a couple things defensively that challenged us at times. But I think for the most part, especially in the second half, there was really good stretches of our defensive work. I think where we got challenged most was having to defend crosses. I think we could have done a better job of shifting out and eliminating those. But overall, it was, Austin played a good game, and, I was pleased with how we responded from a poor start to the second half to get the second goal and win a game.
It's the first time this season you guys have seen the same league opponent. Saw him here early in the year, see Toronto this week. Have there been significant differences you've seen from Toronto the last time you saw them to what you might be expecting this week?
Their shapes changed in recent games. Obviously, coming off of better results, and some of those games. So, and most recently with the DC game. So, their first half against DC, I think, was as strong as we've seen from them. I don't know how they assess some of the other halves or performances, but they could have scored, a lot of goals. So that was noticeable.
You guys have never lost to Toronto in your time here, and then you guys have. I know you guys don't look ahead. It's you guys are pros, but with Hell Israel coming up Saturday, it is a big game. How do you have to have any conversations about not overlooking an opponent, especially coming off a good performance?
We haven't addressed the weekend. We know our opponent is Toronto on Wednesday, and we've already gone over the schedule just to help guys understand what this week would look like and what's at the tail end of it. But we'll turn our focus to the weekend after Wednesday. But if anybody's thinking about that, then Wednesday is going to be very challenging for us. So I don't think that's the case. We haven't talked too much outside of our review of the Austin game and now the quick turnaround for Toronto. So I think the group's in a good place and understand what we need to do to put the last game past us and think about how we can have a good couple days and with kind of half of our group working together to approach this game against Toronto.
Is it too early for an update on Matt Miazga? Do you have any more?
Too early. Yeah, we'll know more today.
What about Teenage? Did he come out of?
He's okay. Yeah, he came out of it okay. There was just a little bit of a concern about the knee when he blocked that shot. So, he reported in the facility well yesterday, and will be available as of this conversation.
Thank you. Kevin Dennehy has 4 yellow cards, and I think he's 1 away from a suspension. And I guess my question is less so about what that would mean for the team, but has there been a need for a conversation or a conversation that's had about, the adjustment for him as to what he needs to do in that space and what refs might call him for and how to operate differently?
Yeah, we'll have a conversation. I haven't yet. We've previously talked a little bit about just the understanding of removing your jersey, but 2 different scenarios and how those were, how he received those. But the foul on Saturday, it's probably a yellow card from what I saw. So, that's a one-off. He hasn't had too many where he's getting yellow cards because he's, closing the ball and just doesn't get the timing right. So it's more just letting these guys know of where they stand with yellow cards. If there's concerns, we have conversations about it. If it's earning yellow cards in the right way, you just want them to understand when they're on 4, when they're on 3, when they're on 4, what good behavior looks like, so that they can have that in the back of their mind. But I don't like addressing it in ways where it changes how they think or play. They just have to understand, when they're on 3 and 4 cards, how they have to manage the game.
You guys went through the, opening month of the season, double match weeks, having to turn the page quickly from one match to the other. A lot of teams in MLS didn't have that experience, I guess, is how I'll frame it. Toronto did a little bit with their Canadian Championship, but do you feel like this might be not an advantage, but an experience place that you guys have, that you're able to do this? You've had the experience of turning the page quickly into these games, going into Wednesday and then Saturday and then next week, whereas other teams may not.
I would say the previous experiences can help us, but it's how you utilize it in the moment. I think when you go Saturday, Wednesday, there's enough time in between that to be fresh, to get recovered if you're putting out the same lineup. The most challenging part is on the back end of the 2 games when you have a 2-day turnaround to play the 3rd game. That's where I think it becomes challenging for any team, is because you have 1 less day and you're off of 2 games now. And so fatigue sets in, and what is the form of the team in those 2 games and the individuals to make decisions on that 3rd game. So that's kind of how I look at it.
And just in general, you're in a better position health-wise, the depth in the roster, than you were like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So how important is that?
Yeah, we got good options right now. We got guys that I think have taken their minutes well. There'll be some changes going into this Toronto game. But the competition and the depth we have right now, I think, is beneficial to our group, because I think all the guys can sense the need to perform. And when you have that, it usually raises the level in training and the focus, and that usually translates to better performances individually and for the collective on game day. So that's what I like about the group right now, is having a lot of good options to select from as far as the 11s, and how we fill out our game day roster with the reserves.
You expect Obi back this week?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
Okay. And then going back to, I know we've talked a lot about Luca and his positioning, but it's been 3 straight games that he has played some right wing back, started there obviously on Saturday. What did you like about how that kind of, you guys were crossing the ball a lot more. He was, What do you like about him in that position, and have you kind of settled on him being back there, or? No,
it's just looking at where the group's at in the moment. So with this particular matchup against Austin, we liked having him on the right side there. I think he brought to the game good inside movement to help us switch play. We had some good moments where we were able to, get our forwards moving off the line, and I thought how he supported those entry balls was well timed. We just didn't find the right layoff, whether it was to him or one of our holding midfielders. But so the movement and the timing was good there. I think his ability to move the ball inside, and the second goal comes from him with the long switch of play. So that's what he kind of provides you in those moments. With the shot creation in the first half, it's when we can switch play and he can get in isolation. I think he does a good job of creating separation and finding a shot. That was a couple of the things that stood out. So, I don't think that's anything new from what we've seen in the past, but those are some of the strengths that he provides in that position.
And then I know you guys have Kamar coming in. Whatever, if the paperwork is all done or whatever. But what do you expect him to bring? It's not often you see a 40-year-old forward that can still contribute like he has.
Yeah, we look past the age, you know, the way he takes care of himself and what we've seen from, you know, most recently his time with LAFC. A very powerful attacking piece, somebody that with his back to goal is very strong in being able to link up with his midfield. I think, you know, in some of the moments we talked about with Luca and the crossing situations, you know, there's very few that have had more success in our league, you know, with attacking crosses, with being an asset on set pieces, still a very willing runner. And, you know, whether that's to stretch the field or to help the team press, he can still do all those things. So we're excited to have him.
How come you didn't play until you were 40?
I wasn't blessed with his physical attributes and maybe his discipline, but no, that wasn't an option for me.
There.
Cool. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.